Hello everyone, and welcome to our next general body meeting. I'm pleased to see you all here. Yes, hi. A few things before we get started. You are being recorded. We record all of our meetings, and other resources and slides and stuff will be available post-meeting at our acmuc.org/archive, so you can get all of the documents and related things from meetings.
Never mind.
Right there. Also, remember to fill out our attendance, acmuc.org/C. It's how we estimate our attendance and buy pizza, and also how you get voting rights at the end of the year. Come on in, guys. Well, you know what? Also, before we get started, we've got some special guests today. They've come in to do some special things for us.
Just got a quick announcement. Mortarboard is an association of individuals selected for distinguished ability and achievement in scholarship, leadership, and service. Our purpose is to facilitate cooperation among all people, to emphasize the advancements of the status of women, to support the ideas of the college or university, to advance a spirit of scholarship, to recognize and encourage leadership, provide service, and to establish the opportunity for a meaningful exchange of ideas as individuals and as a group.
Today, Mortarboard proudly taps Maddie Eckhart for her impact in ACM at UC as Vice President and Revolution UC as Marketing Lead and Hacker Experience Lead. This visionary woman has been able to inspire more women to get involved in EECS as a major and in the EECS community. Maddie is a role model for students at UC and plays a crucial role in the tech community at UC.
Today, Mortarboard also proudly taps JT Salisbury for his impact at ACM UC as Secretary and Revolution UC as Logistics Lead. JT is a passionate leader who has been able to spearhead the success of the tech community at UC. JT is full of positive energy and is always looking to help his peers.
We are thankful for you for your dedication to bettering our campus and community. Take this tap ribbon as representation of our gratitude for your service and leadership, as an honor for your achievement both on campus and in the community, as a warm welcoming into our society.
See you in a couple of days.
Since my mom.
I'm taking photos.
Hey, it's on YouTube! Let's get JT first.
Why are we all so quiet?
Take some pizza and some cookies.
Yes.
Yes.
Take some pizza.
All right.
Let's see it.
Again, before we get started, a reminder, fill out attendance, acmuc.org/C. It's how we determine voting rights and estimate how much pizza to buy from meetings. So it really does help to fill out our attendance so that we know how much to get. Also, if you're not in our Slack workspace, I highly suggest that you join it right now. It is the best way to stay in contact with us and get all of the updates about things that are going on. We also have office hours in row 802A. It's the Fishbowl office near the collaboration zone lobby. Our office hours are Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. and Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. So stop by for homework help or just to hang out. ACM has a code of conduct. The rules are fairly straightforward. If you want to find them and read them in more detail, you can find it at acmuc.org/conduct. And we also follow the UC code of conduct. This also applies to our Slack workspace and anywhere where ACM events are taking place, so be cool. Also, it's ACM at UC's birthday. This is why we have cookies today. ACM is, I think, about 40 years old today. Exactly 40 years old.
Exactly 4 years old.
All right, which is why we're playing 80s songs when you guys came in. All right, some upcoming events. We will have a talk on design systems by Will Cup on the 27th at 6:30 p.m., same time, same place. And you will learn how design systems can standardize and streamline the inclusion of design in the software development process. So that is going to be a talk by our legendary webmaster, Will Cup, who's sitting over there. Yeah. brings us to our topic for the meeting today. It's Hackathon 101. We're going to go over some basics about what is a hackathon. We're going to give you some tips for how to best succeed, and then we're going to do an activity to get you used to coming up with ideas, collaborating with people, and hopefully that can help you find some team members from the audience here that you might want to work with. So, what is a hackathon? For those of you who do not know, here's the summary. It's a 24-hour event, or mostly 24 hours, some are longer. Teams of 1 to 4 people, and basically you get together, you work on a project for that 24 hours. There's lots of free stuff, a chance to practice and learn skills. You can spend the night if you want, or go home for a few hours, depending on how far away you are. But whatever you do, come excited, ready to build something cool and learn something new. Revolution UC is actually next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend, which is why we're doing this meeting. Revolution UC is put on by ACM, and it is 24 hours of learning, code, self-improvement, and lots of free food and stuff. So definitely, if you like hackathons, if you're interested in them, show up to those meetings. Registration is open right now at revolutionuc.com. So now, we want to talk about how to succeed at a hackathon, right? If you've never been, the first thing you want to do is learn something, right? Try something new or refine your current skills. But whatever you do, try to pick something that is just a little bit outside of your comfort zone, right? Take advantage of sponsors. The sponsors sponsor hackathons because they want to recruit people. So they come there looking for technical talent. They're looking for people who are excited and passionate about what they do and who have skills to back that up. So definitely come in and you think of it not just as a chance to hack on something cool, but also as a chance to go to a mini career fair, meet sponsors and really show them, that you're the kind of person that they want to recruit. Also, a lot of sponsor companies will send mentors to the hackathon. At Revolution UC, we ask all of our sponsor companies to send mentors from industry to give advice to hackers that are trying to figure stuff out on their projects. That's a great way to learn and also a great way to get some networking. There's also usually plenty of free resources, software keys, hardware resources, and public APIs that are all available to help you in your project. Taking advantage of these is super helpful for whatever you're doing, so I suggest you pay attention to those when you're trying to figure out what you want to do. Also, don't be afraid to pivot. Things don't always work out the way you planned, and so when something goes wrong and an API doesn't have the services you want, or your program runs into unexpected issues and you don't think you're going to be able to finish it, well, maybe decide, what is the stuff that we've already done, and how can we make that work into a slightly different project? So look for ways to rework things and pivot the course of your project to make it still be successful, even despite hiccups. And most importantly, have fun. Regardless of whether or not you win a prize, or even if you have a functioning hack at the end of the day, what matters is that you enjoyed the event and you learned something out of it. During Revolution UC, we have lots of fun events like our slideshow karaoke, paper airplane, capture the flag contest, lightning talks, and lots of free food, snacks, drinks, and an awesome hackerspace. So definitely don't forget to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Because the point at the end of the day is to have fun. There's lots of useful resources for people who are making projects. We've got a Google Doc here, which I will show you briefly. But this has all kinds of resources. I'm going to post this link in the Slack shortly after our meeting here, so you guys can take a look at it. But this has got links to things like our MLH season perks, so you can, at an MLH-sponsored hackathon like Revolution UC, you can check with the MLH rep, and they'll give you a code usually to redeem lots of free software that MLH offers. Also, GitHub has their education pack, free for students, with lots of useful software. And GitHub has APIs as well. Revolution UC will be giving out keys for Wolfram 1 for 30 days, so that's another useful tool to use. Local Tunnel's a good one. It's a way to make your node project publicly accessible that's running on your machine. There's all kinds of things, so I suggest you look through them if you're interested in looking for software. So we've got stuff like for game development, iOS, lots of web things, and so on and so forth. So I'll post that after the meeting or as soon as I'm done talking. check that out. Does anyone have any tools that they'd like to recommend that they personally have used? All right. Hardware Lab, yep, MLH Hardware Lab is a really useful tool. They have that at any MLH-sponsored event, like ACM UC. You can check out a piece of hardware from that lab for the duration of the event, completely free. They have things like VR headsets, Arduinos, all kinds of electronics that you can use to make whatever your project is, so long as you can take it apart and return them by the end of the hackathon. Now, where do I look for inspiration, right? You're trying to come up with a project and you really just can't figure it out. Well, there's a few things you can try. First is look at pre-existing projects, and I'll take us up in a second to some links where we can find those. Also think of technologies that you want to use. If there's something that you have as a strong skill set or a technology that you want to learn, that's a great place to start. Start with the skill sets of people on your team, right? So if you have a team that has great skills with web, you may want to do something with web, or you have a few teammates that have a good, interesting combination of skills, like someone with some hardware and someone with some software experience. You may be able to find a way to make those different skill sets work together to make a cool project. Also, problems you see in the real world can be a great source of inspiration for projects. So that's another place to look at it. So if you go to our website, revolutionuc.com/hackideas, you can see a whole list of potential hacks here, as well as some descriptions to give you some inspiration. So this is a great place to look if you're looking for different types of projects that you can figure out. So I suggest you reference that. Again, here's the URL here. revolutionuc.com/hack-ideas. It's a great place to look for that.
We see that pop-up action,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This website was made by Will Cup, so just an endorsement of his skills for next talk. He knows what he's talking about. So if you go down here, this is another great place to look. You can check out submissions to our dev post from previous years. So these are things that people have actually made at our event. So here was our first place winner, meme. It's an FPS horror based on putting down dead memes. As well as Polyglot, which was a machine learning tool that uses a real-time camera to translate like objects that you hold in front of it. So it'll come up with what the object is in the different languages that you select. Now these, of course, are prize-winning hacks, but you can come up with all sorts of different things for all sorts of different skill levels. So don't be intimidated by these. Really, the point of the event is that you pick something that is at your skill level and gets you to learn and become better as a developer. Any hack ideas that people want to share, or anything you want to point to from previous years? Maybe I can find the fruit synthesizer. I don't remember where that was. Yeah, Maddie?
So ideas can range with pretty much anything. There was a team last year that created a website that you could rank bathrooms, and you'd be able to see like the best bathrooms like on campus, which was very funny. So there's no limit to what you can do.
Yeah. I definitely was after talking. There it is. Vitamin sense. So they made this synthesizer, and all of the keys were pieces of fruit.
Yes.
So they all wired it through a breadboard into somebody's laptop and set up a piece of software that read the different keys and mapped it to different sound effects so they could play music on pieces of fruit by tapping them. So that was a fun project that I thought was interesting. Didn't win a prize, unfortunately, but I don't know. I think it was popular among the organizers. Good. Yeah.
So fruits and vegetables are a good hackathon resource.
Yes, we have. So all of the fruits that you see here and vegetables, well, there's no vegetables. All the fruits that you see here, including the bag of Fritos and the Diet Coke in the background, were distributed free at the hackathon to hackers. Of course, we didn't intend for them to use them in the hack, but they're resources that are still available. So, You can feel free to look at that at your leisure. It's available on Revolution UC's website, so you can get to it at any time if you want to browse in more detail. Now it's time for our team formation activity. Yeah, JT, what's going on?
What are some of the categories for this year?
Oh, the prize categories. Yeah, let's go back here. Do we have prize categories up on this website?
No, but it's on the new dev list.
Oh, it's on the new dev post. Is that on the website? Or do I have to find it in my mind?
Just type it in, UC,
Okay.
UC-IX.
Ooh.
No, you got
UCX soon.
I know,
Dot
right?
devpost.com.
All right. So this is our dev post where people will submit prizes are here, I think.
Yep.
So here's our first place prize, second and third, and then a list of the possible prizes. You get to pick one of these. Unfortunately, you don't get all of them. But we will be judging everybody who submits a hack for these. We also have the prizes for people who do the first place capture the flag, as well as some special categories called Best Education, Best Design, and Best High School. So education and design would be what people here are looking for, and they're basically hacks related to education or hacks with very good design or UX. Also, ECS, Graduate Student Association, is giving a most innovative hack by a UC student. And then we've got some MLH sponsored prizes here. And then probably some additional sponsor prizes that will be announced at the event. So there's lots of chance to win things. So a good suggestion, so thank you for reminding me to talk about this, JT, is to look at the prizes when you're considering what to build for your event, because they may announce a prize category that you can, add something to your hack to make it fit into that category. So like Fifth Third will be there, and I think they're sponsoring a prize about
VR.
VR to make the customers like better or something. AR or VR, either one. Yeah. All right. Now it's time for team formation. So we're going to do a little activity. Get ready to get up and talk to everybody. So what I want you guys to do is get into groups of 3 to 4 people. It can be anyone around. Just find some people. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to come up with a hack idea. It doesn't have to be anything like that you're planning to actually implement. Just come up with an idea, and then you're going to come up and you're going to have like a minute to present it and just give us your quick elevator pitch on what your idea is, right? It's just a quick concept. I'm going to do a couple of these in switch up groups, but I just want to get you guys thinking about different kinds of hacks, all right? So let's go ahead and form your groups real quick. Can meet with anybody. Don't get too attached, you're going to be leaving soon.
Christian, where are you?
How many people do you have on your team? All right.
Margaritas, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have them, they're somewhere else.
Okay.
And you know it's down to you. So we came up with an app to deliver margaritas to you. But no one, I mean, it's like Uber for margaritas, but no one, it's sort of been done a bunch of times. So instead of cars, it's horse carriages that bring margaritas to you. And it's a self-driving. Yeah, we have some future R&D ideas already. We're going to go full Westworld if we get all of our funding, and we're just going to learn to 3D print biomaterial and make horses that are real, but just drive carriages. We're budgeting 40 hours, just to be safe.
8 hours.
That's it.
All right, very cool. Next group, you guys want to go? Stand up, guys.
We're gonna make a VR game that's all like Beat Saber. They have giant fists and like flying objects coming at you. You have to punch it, so it's like an exercise. But then you get power-ups as you go. So like you're gonna be Dragon Ball Z blasting once you get tired. Like once you hit enough, just hit all these objects, trying to get a high score, and it'll be up to like upbeat music and stuff.
Very cool. All right, next group. I can talk, sure. We are developing a game, and what are we going to do it? Python, why not, something like that. And it'll be a roguelike dungeon crawler that's procedurally generated. It's going to be an RPG style with enemy AI and items you pick up from chests, random every time, so it's unique every single time you play. And every time you go through the door, you've got the same square, but it's different enemies, like it's all procedurally generated within the square, so that's the plan for that.
Coming in first place.
You guys want to share?
Our product is like an AI that senses your mood and
Oh, like,
what is that very
like,
sad and
so
but it's going to detect our mood for voice stuff.
I don't know the algorithm.
I feel like that would just make you mad. Like you'd hear happy music, you'd be like, stop! I want to be sad now. You'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, you guys want to go in the back?
Sure. Stand up. Okay, so we're gonna do a website where it's for kids in school. So we went for like best education hack, just related to that. So it's for kids to put in their vocab words, and then it would create a crossword puzzle from the vocab words. So they would have to like learn how crossword puzzles work, cognitive learning and stuff, and like forming minds like tomorrow. And like they can do that through crossword puzzles, and also learn the vocab words and learn definitions.
I love it. All right. Okay. Yes, what's going on? You have one?
I was a solo. I didn't have a group, so yeah.
All right.
My hackathon project was, it's in two parts. First is a web scraper that makes a giant database of all the memes on the internet. The second is a machine learning algorithm that looks at that database and tries to study the pattern of what kind of memes are popular and which are not. So it will try to predict if there are some new memes coming up, like World War III. That's pretty old now, but
Baby Yoda?
sorry.
Baby Yoda?
Maybe that's also pretty old. So yeah, it'll see what new memes are coming up and if they can become popular or not.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this again. We're going to switch up groups, so be with groups that are mostly not the same people, and then come up with another idea within another 2 minutes. All right, okay.
Brilliant.
What's up?
Here, I'll go up here.
Right. I'll sit right here. I'm trying to right now. I used to run cross-country. I don't anymore.
Does everyone know what Zipcar is? It's like a community car that you can like check them out, like use it in the regular. We do that. So there's an app you can just walk up and like scan a QR code somewhere on the ship, and then you can rent the ship for a few hours. Bring it back.
So let's make one.
Like a
So in person is usually where
minutes.
Trump Club exists that for just telling you what.
But I feel like if you go the sharing route,
That's way easier. That's true.
That's
the way we could do that. Something that tells you whether
Alright, I got the project's name.
can we sell some hardware that like is a camera that's just in your Whoa, Samuel Jackson.
Ralph, it's stop, man.
We're really targeted. Our target audience is
Find your seats. We're going to go present our ideas. Okay, So this time, I want you guys to introduce yourselves so we all like know each other's names real quick. So let's start. Who wants to start? You guys?
I'm JT. I'm Kunal.
I'm Bob.
I'm Liz.
What's your
Okay,
answer?
our idea, so we're going to make a trebuchet that you wear like a little band around your head, all right? And it senses when you get really angry, and the trebuchet will turn as your like head turns with the band, right? And so when you get really angry, the trebuchet will launch shit at wherever it's looking. So this is mostly used to defeat our enemies.
You just have to turn and look at them and like focus.
Yeah, let's get really angry at their face.
Wow.
Thanks.
That's intense.
Yeah, I guess that's all right. Hi, I'm Christian.
I'm Christian.
I'm Maddie.
Justice Marshall.
What's going on?
All right, so we're making an application called FitCheck.
Take it away.
Did you say bitch check?
Fit.
Check, F-I-T.
Fit,
I mean-
fit check.
Fit
Oh.
check, like
Okay.
you're, like check my fit, you know. Those who don't know, it means like look at my outfit.
We can expand.
Okay.
So it's an app that you have that will, using machine learning, look at what you're wearing and tell you if it's good or not. You can also like adjust the voices to decide like how it's gonna talk to you, whether it's like Samuel L. Jackson telling you your outfit sucks, or like Kim Kardashian saying it's great. But yeah, that's our idea.
You should actually make that.
There's a hard
You know, it sounds really fun. I don't like
Great.
You guys want to go?
I'm Will. My name's Sam. All right, so our app idea is a mobile application called Chrono Yacht. In this application, you can timeshare your yacht with other people. Or if you fail to own a yacht, you can buy a timeshare in someone else's. By the minute, for thousands of dollars. Whoa! Even better, we're going to create an adapter for your phone so you can plug in your HTC Vive or Oculus, whatever the hell they're called, and you can preview the yacht in the Bahamas, in space, or on Mars. Our target demographic is really Elon Musk. Please send us money.
Alright, next group.
That's the stats you want.
I'm Pesh.
That's a good idea.
And I'm Omar. So our idea is to use Python to analyze Twitter trends over coronavirus, especially looking at geographical locations and types of information shared. Yeah.
Alright, very cool. Alright, so what do you guys say? We do this one more time?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this one more time. Go find some random people that you haven't talked to yet.
I don't think I've ever met you two.
You've never met me before.
Again, in this.
Okay, we'll be a team of 5.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm leaving you things that are problems.
Hey, Will.
You hate apples?
Oh, okay. What's our idea?
I don't know.
We're going to commit widespread financial costs.
It doesn't actually exist. That's our idea.
You know, it's like Bill Clinton and Whitewater.
Oh, no.
Yeah? Alright, cool. Alright, everybody, we're going to
Call it
this is
Apple
gonna
Day.
represent
It's like Enron. It's like Enron 2.
Are you trying to destroy apples or like?
I thought we were just
What's the name?
No. We're trying to suppress the name is Nottingham. Oh, the name is not. We should call it Nottingham. It's a veiled futures whenever you buy apples and stuff.
Alright, we're ready to name. Oh, okay, cool. Who wants to go first? Alright, go ahead.
Hi, I'm still Sam.
I am also Maddie.
All right. So, going off of the previous idea, we're going to build a Python machine learning model that will analyze social media to determine where breakouts of coronavirus currently are. Then, integrating with services like Uber and Lyft and FedEx, we're going to find ways to circumnavigate blockades or travel bans and get people to these places, make sure they get infected, and then travel them back to their place of origin to further spread the disease. We're calling it Plague Inc. Our target audience is Kim Jong-un and
You guys want to go? Yeah, sure. Our thing is going to be a Python program where it's going to, you can input, somebody burns you, right? Somebody makes fun of you, trash talk you. You can input details about their life, embarrassing things that you know, and it's horrible things, and it'll come back with a sick burn every single time.
Oh.
Okay, it's time to introduce ourselves. Again.
I'm still Christian.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create this great app. It's going to be the best app ever, and it's going to let you invest. It's going to let you invest in whatever you want, but we're going to have a focus on the fruit commodity market. And basically, you know, it's like you buy and you sell, and then when you press the buy button, you sell. And basically, at the end of the day, we're going to destroy the fruit commodity market so that we can get rid of fruit. The target audience is investors, Warren Buffett, and ourselves. This is like,
Whenever you buy Apple, you sell apples. It's just that simple.
yeah, just that simple.
Alright. We're trying to close an app that tracks JT's Chipotle eating trend. And once he eats 3 days in a row, the app will lock itself and not let him use the app for the 4th day.
My rewards? This is an intervention, JT. Yeah, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Dave.
Your take?
And I'm the camera guy.
So our idea is to develop an algorithm that will operate on 2 data sets, the stock market and the meme database that Dave collected. And we'll track popular memes and using the algorithm predict what stocks are about to be really big, so we know what to buy and when to sell and make a lot of money off of looking at memes.
Oh.
Very cool. So that's, I guess, the last time we're going to do this. So hopefully you guys got from this an idea of how to come up with ideas, right? You got a few examples of things that you can work on at a hackathon, and you got to know people in the area here. So if you see people around here that are also going to the hackathon or planning to go, feel free to talk to them about setting up a team. I also have a link that you guys can follow. Sign up to, if you're going to Revolution UC, and you're going to be there, feel free to sign up into our Slack ahead of time for Revolution UC. This is different from the ACM Slack, and this is basically a place that you guys can go to get information about the event. We'll be posting lots of announcements for the duration, and most importantly, there is a team building channel in that Slack. So if you have an idea that you've come up with, and you have 1 or 2 team members maybe from this meeting today, then you can post in there to fill out the rest of your roster, or simply look for other people who are looking for. Yes, what?
We have so much pretty awesome swag down here. Come get some if you want to go green and groceries or something. There's some really bags. Take as much as you want, please.
So these are bags left over from Revolution UC of previous years. Feel free to take any of these if you want. Just as an example of all the fun free stuff that you get. This is just a small portion of that we had left over. So feel free to take some. Did you say you had a question? Someone had a question? No? All right. Well, if there's no questions or comments, that's everything I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to stay after, talk to people, socialize. But that's all we've got planned for today. So thank you.